So it's both, right? The Epstein list is going to be the crack and the brainwashing for many members of the cult of MAGA, but others are going to double down harder. This is almost always what we see when the transcendent mission goes belly up or when the apocalypse fails to occur, which this could be either one, depending on how you're looking at it. Right. So the comment says, with some MAGA claiming to turn on Trump now and Bondi because of the files situation, do you see this actually breaking down the cult mentality as some are turning on their leader, or there's still so many? So this is what I call a crack in the brainwashing. And I wrote a book, Uncultured. You can read about my crack in the brainwashing at 14 years old when I see live television on for the first time on 9/11. And I'm like, why are we praising God for this destruction? This is terrible. You can get signed copies of Uncultured here or listen to me read it to you on Spotify Premium. So there is a study where we get the term cognitive dissonance from, right? And Leon Festinger, with a colleague, which is always how you should embed in a cult with help, embeds into a small UFO cult that has predicted the end of the world on December 21st, 1954. And Festinger says, I don't think everyone's going to go home when this is obviously proven wrong, right? The date's going to pass. The world didn't end. People are not all going to go home. That flew in the face of what we thought about human rationality at the time. But this man was onto something. The term cognitive dissonance has been called the most important discovery of social science of the 20th century. And sure enough, right? Like a lot of people woke up and went home. I believe about 50% of the people. But the other ones not only stayed, but they doubled down harder. These tended to be the ones that had given everything, that had burned their bridges, for which there was no going back. I call these people the Rudy Giulianis, right? He's not going down as America's mayor. He's going to be remembered as an old man in front of Four Seasons Total Landscaping with dye running down his face, right? So he has to go down with the ship. I think my grandfather is in this same category. He's still managing the money for the children of God, even though all of his children and grandchildren have left, and many of us are speaking out loud or just to him about all the horrible things that occurred. But he can't let that in. So it's impossible to force a crack in the brainwashing. But when it happens, and I think the list was that for many people, just like Signalgate was that for a lot of veterans and government folks, when it happens, the crack is there. And it could take years, it could take decades, it could take only days or months to get them to leave the cult. But the crack is there. And once the crack is there, your days are numbered, your cult days. I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. And it's a wild time to be an expert on the bad guys.